So I'm asking very simply, what historical evidence, it doesn't need to be eyewitness, what historical documents or evidence do we have to prove that the Bible was written by eyewitnesses without using the Bible because that's circular?
What about the Dead Sea Scrolls? Do you affirm those at
That's
all?
not New Testament. We're talking about the New Testament.
But okay, but the Dead Sea Scrolls was is a fulfillment. Isaiah 53 it says that he would be pierced by our transgressions, that he would be led like a lamb to the slaughter.
Yeah,
that he would
and that's echoed in Jeremiah. That's also echoed in Jeremiah, and that's attributed to Jeremiah. So my issue is with this, that's also kind of deflection from the writing aspect, from who authored it. You mentioning the Dead Sea Scrolls is a deflection because we're not talking about Old Testament, we're talking about New Testament. And we're also talking about history. Wait, hold on, but we're not talking about fulfillment. So let me ask you this. Does history acknowledge prophecy, which is something miraculous? Do historians acknowledge supernatural things such as prophecy?
Some do.
Yes.
No, that's false. Because
How
history,
can you say
and the
that?
reason
Have
why,
you talked to every historian?
no, the reason why is because history is something naturalistic, which means they don't appeal to supernatural things such as prophecy or miracles.
But if it
that's
happens,
also
it's
why,
natural.
wait, I'm in the middle of speaking. That's also why, for example, atheists and historians don't agree with the resurrection. Not because there aren't people who believed in it, but because it's a supernatural event. So naturally, they're not going to accept things such as prophecy and so on and so forth. We're talking about historical documents backing the crucifixion. So I want to go back to my point. Do you have historical documents that prove that the Bible was written by eyewitnesses?
Okay, aside from the eyewitness, because I feel like this is like a catch-22. Let's say, okay, we do not have them other than the Bible. We all agree we do not have them. Okay, do you believe that your Quran...
Wait, do you guys agree? Do you agree that we don't have any evidence
other than the Bibles?
Okay, so it seems like we
based
don't...
on my knowledge, I'm learning about this every day. Based on my knowledge, no, okay? From what I know. But do you believe that your Quran is a well-established historical event? Do you
Beautiful.
feel like...
That's first off, the Quran isn't an event. But regardless, that's also a deflection from the topic. So would you guys agree? Wait, that is a deflection because the topic is the crucifixion.
I'm trying to land here.
I just want to say, I think you're doing a great job. Like, truly, and I know, sorry, but I just want to say that what you have to bring to the table is so unique. Like, I just genuinely feel like you are so smart. Like, truly, like you're trying to catch us all. And I appreciate the dedication and the heart that you have behind this. Like, truly, hear me say that genuinely. But we're going back and forth in a circle of eyewitnesses. I believe that we have eyewitnesses, the tablets, the shroud, etc. Okay, but I want to just say why it matters, right? Because if the crucifixion was fake, right, and if Jesus just ascended into heaven, like the Quran says, because God loved him essentially more so than anybody else, that he ascended Jesus into heaven, right, to send somebody else to the cross because somebody died on the cross, right? Somebody had to have died on the cross. If you believe he ascended, somebody still was hanging on that cross. So you're saying that Allah loved Jesus more than anybody else on earth because he spared him. He didn't spare Muhammad from dying, right? He spared Jesus. So why? That's not the same God of like the Quran. That's all loving, that's good, that's merciful, and it's not the God that we believe in. And it's so important to know that Jesus Christ chose to go to the cross because he is God and he loves us so much that he wanted a personal relationship with us. And if again he didn't die and it was some man, then like the first point was, then we're just deceived. We're all deceived. And you can say in the Revelation he breaks the cross, and that's another thing. But truly, it's so important to know that like without the cross, I wouldn't be here today. I would have taken my life, right? Like my life, it's not mine because of what Jesus did. Jesus said, I forgive you. And that's only because of his death and resurrection, because there's no body in the tomb, right? And so because of the resurrection of Jesus Christ, because he loved me so much, he loved